live again, as said. I'm going to show up a lot more now and just talk and talk some more and then talk some more. So today I am talking about my book, Practice Makes the Master, a quest to mastery. And I'm going to be talking about one chapter and one chapter only, which is chapter 11. And the chapter on that book, or this book, my book, is chapter 11, called 3 Breaths Away. The reason why I wrote and spoke about chapter 11, just 3 breaths away, is we forget the importance of our breath work and breathing. Many, unfortunately, get stressed, overwhelmed, and do not realize that when you keep that negative emotion in, that stress, it has to go somewhere. So that could turn into a cold, it could go into a headache, or a breakout in terms of like rash, spots, or something a lot more severe in terms of medical conditions. We all know that stress can make us ill, but we don't realize the simple things we can do to kind of go for a prevention rather than cure. When people think about entrepreneurs and businessmen and people under high pressure and stress, they say, oh, think about your heart, think about your health, it's too stressful. But no one says, yes, you can manage the stress as long as you are doing breath work, exercising, and being focused on the inner, not just the outer. So that's the reason I wrote chapter 11 of this book, Practice Makes the Master, just 3 breaths away. So I'm going to start talking about chapter 11 now. So this book, as you can see, it is super simple. Oh, I've got one of the microphones that's gone off, sorry. This book is super simple. It's not over taught, it's not over described, and it's not over written. It's straight to the point. So what I'm going to do, I think this microphone is definitely faulty because I've just charged it again. It's not playing with me, so I'll double check that anyway. So on chapter 11, I talk about, on the introduction side of it, I'll just start from there. I think that's the best place to start. When was the last time you truly breathed? Not the automatic, shallow breaths we take through the day, but a conscious, deep breath in the mindful. Well, I've got my alarm going off. That's my focus alarm. Practice what I preach. But whoever's like, I know. So yeah, in the mindful breathe out, or a breath out, fully aware of the life force moving through your body. So I'll talk a bit more about breath work and why it's important, but I'd give you a simple exercise of, let's take a moment now to engage in a simple breathing exercise. Inhale deeply through your nose for 5 seconds, hold your breath for another 5 seconds, and then breathe out or exhale for another 5 seconds. Repeat this 2 more times as you breathe, and you'll notice your nasal passages open up. So I talk about this in chapter 11 of Practice Makes the Master, and I talk about the science of breathing and the gateway to better health. So this is such a simple thing that many of us don't do, or we forget. I'm included as well. I do it every day, but I do forget. That's why I have an alarm to remind me, or at least, to be fair, I do it every morning. I always do my breath work in the morning, just doing a few conscious breaths just to make sure I get my body and rhythm going again. But this is so, so important because life's stressful. Life is stressful. And the reason why so many of us get ill nowadays is because life is stressful. We have more stresses put upon us, we have more responsibilities put upon us, but we're all told that we have to cope and just get on with it. What I'm trying to give back here is a simple exercise to help you when things are getting beyond belief and stressful. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to take all your problems away, but it will help just doing simple breathing in the morning, in the afternoon, or when you feel extremely stressed and fed up. Trust me, I've been there and I've had a bit of a terrible week as well in my business. So I practice what I preach. So hey, thank you for the like. By the way, I wear glasses, and if I'm squinting and looking like that, it's because I refuse to wear my glasses. So thank you very much for the message and thank you for the like. But as we're saying, we're talking in this book of Practice Makes the Master about your breath work and why doing just three conscious breaths a day is so, so important for you. As I was saying, life is hard, it's challenging. We've got bills, more bills on top of that, then we get taxed for everything. So when you are focusing on your breath work, it can actually help. So I'll go into a few basic things here. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I'm just going to give you an overview, and hopefully this will help you with a bit more understanding of the reason why I wrote this chapter in the book, Practice Makes the Master. So I talk about breathing and the nervous system. I talk about the technical side of it as well, of how it helps. So the SNS, often referred to the fight or flight system, is activated in response to stress. I talk about that. Then I talk about the I can never say this word. I'm just going to call it PNS, known as the rest and digest system. The PNS is responsible for calming the body after a threat has passed. But when you're doing your breathing work and your breath work, when you're in a stressful situation, it will calm yourself down so you're less likely to make a snap reaction. That's why when you see someone maybe in a bar or in the street and you see them fight really quick from like 0 to 100 within a snap second, the best way to explain that is if that person took a step back and just did 3 breaths and then pause, another 3 breaths and pause, that spike will just gently dissipate and go. But because the person's not thought about it and the spike's up there, the person reacts, and that's how things happen. And then the person apologizes and said they just saw red mist, they don't know what happened. It's that, and that's what I talk about in this book. So that's why conscious deep breathing plays a crucial role for us all in life, no matter where we are in our life, whether we are young, middle-aged, elderly, whatever you want to call it. We all do need to do our breath work. So then I talk about breathing stress hormones. I talk about the spiritual significance of breath. I talk about prana and life force energy. Then I go into talking about practical benefits, why 3 breaths can change your life. So I'll just give you just a quick snapshot. So I've put it's an immediate stress relief. It's something that we don't think of as stress relief, but it is. We take it for granted just because we're naturally breathing all the time. We don't see it as a benefit, but the benefit is having that pause and having the focus of doing a conscious breath. That is what will help. Number 2, improve focus and mental clarity. And then we've got enhanced emotional regulation. Long-term health benefits, are talking to it as well. So I also talk about the challenges that we have when it comes to breath work as well. So this is a typical one. In traffic, Road rage is a common phenomenon, especially when you're stuck in traffic, a long day at work, the next time another driver cuts you off. Instead of reacting with anger, take 3 deep breaths. This small act of mindfulness can diffuse frustration, helping you navigate the situation with a clearer head. That's all it does. There's no magic. The science behind it, but there's no magic science. All it does is it clears your head. Taking 3 breaths when you're in a stressful situation or you're in a confrontation, it clears your head so you can think clearly of, if I do this now, the repercussions will be X or Y. So that's all it does, guys. And this is the reason why I wrote about this in my book. And I talk about the conclusion, the transformation power of 3 breaths. I'll go into that in a bit more detail. But that is kind of how the book goes. It's a doing book, it's a book with care. So it's not a book where you just read and put down and you just go on to your day to day. It hopefully helps you level up in every way possible to be more clear thinking, faster, stronger, mindful, aware. So when opportunities, threats, or dangers come towards you, you can spot the opportunities, you can take advantage of the opportunities, you can level up the best way you can. Or when threats come towards you, you can see what the threat is before it actually happens, and then you can take a conscious decision and action how you want to respond, react, and be. Or you can just do what I did today, which was get a sledgehammer and just smash some huge rocks up into small pieces, which I actually did. But there is a small backstory to that. I had to do some garden work and fence work and dig out some big concrete blocks, and the blocks were like huge. You couldn't pick up; they were that big. So it was impossible to bag up. So I had to smash them down into small pieces, and that is also a very good thing for stress relief, movement. So if anybody is in the situation where you do have a sledgehammer, that is now my go-to. But I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the thumbs up and the likes and any comments in here as well. I do appreciate you. I don't think I've got any comments. Yeah, I've got a few comments. Hello. Yeah, so thank you very much for the comments. And as I said, I'm going to be going live and being on here as much as possible, whether you like me or not. I'm going to be showing up a lot more now and just talking about my book, Practice Makes a Master, talking about why I wrote the book and how it can help you. One thing I did forget to say and mention is if you go to practicemakesamaster.com, you can check out the book there as well. You can get chapter 1 for free. The website is interactive, so it'll give you a bit more information about the philosophy of the book and how it could potentially help. But I'm going to disappear now. I've got things to do. I do appreciate you staying in, listening, being with me. So have a great day. Take care.